The way to work right here on Sports Radio The Ticket.
Blind Appeal, College Football Hour. That's Wednesdays on Idaho Sports Talk. So today is Wednesday, right in the middle of our show. Prater for Rock Jocks and Pop. We have a pair of tickets to the Potato Bowl that come with sideline passes, dude. Parking passes, ESPN zone passes for the events before. But for someone out there who has never watched a college football game, a Division I FBS college football game on the sidelines, they're going to want to call into Rock Jock later this hour and try to win those sideline passes.
Nice.
Man. That's a good prize, man. Good
Nice
stuff. JP putting together that famous Idaho Potato Bowl package during Rock Jocks and Pop Culture. Spencer Danielson earlier today met with the media and, of course, day one of early signing period. And Spencer Danielson talked about on whether he wants, Prater, a quarterback recruit in every single class and how Kaleb Annett fits on this roster.
It's all about the right fit, and especially at quarterback, any position, it's all about the right one, not one that we can get first or from a timing standpoint. Obviously, the quarterback's the shot caller, and our whole team is involved with him, but it's finding the right one. And Caleb's a phenomenal young man. Coach Hammond did a great job through the recruiting process. He came up on campus, and he's a perfect fit for us, and he's going to thrive and develop here.
What about him makes him a perfect fit?
First off, just his mental makeup. I mean, a young man that's developed his entire time, and when you're around him, he's a natural leader. Even the small things, like we would go to dinners together where it's a buffet style, and he would wait for everybody to go in front of him, and he'd go last, right? That's the type of leader that you need, holding the ball every single snap, and he's just that type of kid. Then obviously a skill set in regards to a quarterback, he's only going to develop, but I mean, he's got an elite skill set, and excited for him with Coach Hammond in our offense. I think the sky's the limit for him.
When Spencer Danielson said the word buffet, I caught my attention. He's talking about his quarterback and being a leader. And I suppose if you're the quarterback, if you're last, that's probably pretty good. Do you think Spencer Danielson would have said the same thing if he was talking about an offensive lineman? Does he want an offensive lineman to be first in the buffet line? Is that how coaches think?
Yeah, I think you're right on that, Prater. That stood out to me too. I mean, he lets everybody go in the buffet before him and nothing. Like, Spencer, where are you taking these kids on recruiting trips? Where are you going? Chuck wagon?
Well, no, they
Something
do
like
it.
this?
They do it in house. They bring in the catered food and they line up the tables and everybody dives in.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure that Spencer and I are on the same page there. I think I want a football player who's diving in and going for it, even if he's a quarterback. All jokes aside, let's get down to the serious business here. And Kaleb Annett, he's the quarterback that signed today, the only quarterback that signed. He's not coming early. He'll be here in the summer as he finishes out his high school career. So, strike Kaleb Annett as a future, short-term future immediate quarterback. Everybody wants to know, because CJ Tiller and a couple of walk-ons are the only camp arms that they're going to have this spring. Spencer Danielson, answer the question that everybody wants to know. Are you going to be chasing a quarterback in the transfer portal?
We're working on it as we speak right now, Mike, and it's obviously a point of emphasis for us going forward. It's all about the right fit, and that can mean a lot of different things, but it's the right fit for us in our current situation where we're at and who fits in that locker room, who fits us schematically, but even more than that, Mike, who fits this place and who wants to be a part of this. So there's a lot of different options out there, but there's only a couple that for us, okay, this fits Boise State and what we're looking to do, and Coach Hammond's done a great job.
Do you feel like you need a transfer portal?
We're definitely looking for the right one. It's a situation. It's all about the right fit. We're not going to take any player at any position just because we quote unquote need one. It has to be the right one, because in this day and age of college football, it's not the right one, they won't be here anyway. So we got to find the right fit.
Yeah, I hope they do find the right fit. I mean, like, look, I need a girlfriend, okay? And it has to be the right fit. But I'm going to hang out with 500 women so I can make sure I find the right fit. What I'm saying to you, Spencer Danielson, is I hope you look at enough quarterbacks in the transfer portal to find the right fit. Prater, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be interesting if they go into camp, like you said, at that quarterback situation. I mean, spring camp with one Scully kid and a couple of walk-ons.
Yeah, and you're going to hear Spencer in a second here talking about giving us an update on Maddox Madsen and how he fits into the spring plans and his health update. But he did say, for those of you, and most of you do, and I think we all want to see a quarterback. I want to be very, very picky. I think Johnny would take just about anybody to get a camp worm in here. Spencer Danielson might be somewhere in the middle, but he did say, if you're the guy that wants a quarterback out of the transfer portal, he did say that we're locked in on a couple of them, and we're taking a look at them because we think that they're right fits. Based on other things that he said today, talking about name, image, and likeness in the transfer portal, I don't think he's going to offer a penny to any of these quarterbacks. He's the kind of coach that's going to run a program. You've got to get on my football team, and you got to prove it, and then we're going to give you some cash. Other quarterbacks, other programs, other college football coaches are probably doing it differently. I got $100,000 for you, kid. Want to come over here and play football with me? I don't think Spencer's going to work that way. So
I don't either.
I think it's going to be very fascinating. If they get a quarterback in the transfer portal, I don't think it's going to be anything that creates any kind of buzz. I'm not even sure it's going to create any kind of difference on this roster. We'll see how it shakes out. I think we're both fascinated by this story.
Spencer Danielson with the media today on National Signing Day talked about how he is selling this offense when he does talk to prospective quarterbacks.
I think there's a ton of appealing things for him. We've got, pretty much 4 of our 5 offensive linemen that are starters coming back. We got the number 1 running back in the country coming back. We got an offense that has done a phenomenal job. The offensive staff, Coach Hamden, continuing to grow and develop that group and even be more explosive in the future, coming off of a great season they had in 2023. So there's a lot of things that point to this being a great spot for a quarterback as long as it's the right fit for this place. And Coach Hamden, our recruiting department, our offensive staff has done a phenomenal job, even this past couple weeks, just going through all the different quarterbacks that are out there and what fits us. We also got a great quarterback in Maddux Madsen. And understanding him coming back from injury, understand that he's going to be competing as well. And we know he's going to. And so there's a lot of things that are exciting for a young man that wants to come here and compete to win that spot. And especially at Boise State, that's a huge role. Being the starting quarterback at Boise State takes a big-time skill set in regards to your mental toughness to be able to lead an offense that will be explosive like we're going to be. And so there's a lot of guys that are excited for the opportunity. Now it's our job to work through those names to find the right fit for us.
What you think happens is that a short-term thing or something that could linger into the new year or the spring? Or
right now we're still working through the process, BJ. I'm not hiding information from you guys. We do not have one guy that is picked and it's done and we're just keeping it from. We do not. So we're working through a couple different guys that we feel will be good fits here. So if it works obviously ideally we'd want to get a young man here in January to be able to compete in spring ball. But it's all about finding the right one.
Now, see, he gets it. They get it, but it has to be the right one. What are your thoughts? 208-424-9300. Let's hear them on the Cloverdale Plumbing text line. And Maddox Madsen. And we're talking quarterbacks. You're hearing from your head football coach right now, Bronco Nation, Mad Dog. Is he going to throw at all in spring ball? What's his health status?
Right now, working through it. Hopefully by the end of spring, be able to get some of that in. I know in regards to him playing spring ball, won't be able to do much, Mike, just with the injury and him coming back from. Obviously, our goal is just to make sure he gets 100% healthy. But I know we'll be able to get some throwing in throughout spring. He won't be any of the team periods and that kind of stuff.
That's encouraging that maybe toward the end of spring, and spring will start early March, linger into April as they get the spring ball. No specific dates there yet have been announced, but it's encouraging that maybe toward the end of spring ball by April, he can be throwing the football. By the time summer conditioning comes around in June, he can probably beef that thing up a little bit. I fully expect Maddox Madsen to be 100% healthy by August 1st and fall camp. So does that set him behind a little bit? Does that give CJ Tiller a little chance to catch up? At that point, is it Maddox Madsen and a CJ Tiller game on competition? I think all those things are in play, ball game.
I think it's good for Tiller's development, right? He gets to be QB1 for the 6 weeks of spring ball, right? He'll start the spring game.
Yep.
Great. Hopefully he plays well and he gets a ton of confidence and he gets to show the team that, hey, I can be a leader. I can run this team. At some point, every quarterback needs to convince his teammates that he's the right guy. I don't know how they do it, but you have to do it at some point. Maybe this gives CJ Tiller a little bit of time there to say, hey, it can be a situation, whether it's Mad Dog or me, we're in pretty good shape. Spencer Danielson also talked about a surprise on signing day. JP, let's save that for the news updates coming up. It's our Blind Appeal College Football Hour on Prater and the Ballgame.
This This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ballgame on 95.3 FM.